The effects of the pandemic were so severe, it became necessary for the government to act and speed up economic recovery.
Imishinga 9 yujuje ibisabwa yamaze kwemererwa kunganirwa.
9 projects that have the requirements are already on the support list in those mentioned incentives. These projects are of the industrial sector, especially those that manufacture different equipment, including construction materials. This is all being done in order to support the local industries so that they may be able to contribute to the economic recovery. More than 1 trillion Rwandan francs is expected to be generated in this program through new investments and more than 27,000 new jobs created, which can go beyond due to the government's will when it comes to rapid economic recovery.
Kandi bwinshi guverinoma yacu ifite mu kuzahura ubukungu bw'igihugu ku buryo bwihuse.
The construction sector employs many people in Rwanda. The private sector and economic analysts have noted that the government's initiative of supporting the industrial and construction sectors get back on their feet after the way they were affected by the economic repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic will help reduce the prices of commodities and costs of services because taxes have also been slashed by 48%.
It means that when I'm selling a house to you, I also add that money that I spent on construction, which is 25 to 30%. VAT is 18%. Now take 30% plus 18%. It is 48%. It was you to pay that percentage rate. When renting the house, you would pay the rent plus 48%. It means those who need houses, either buying or renting, they will get them without being charged the other 48%.
30% of the taxes will be deducted from imported industrial raw materials and 18% on the value-added tax.
The negative effect of COVID has been, generally, the COVID pandemic has affected everyone. But for the manufacturing industries, the COVID pandemic had a negative effect mostly on the companies' operating environment, because we had lockdowns, we had a restriction of movement. All those things impacted on the company's performance. We can look into we are asking the companies were having employees on reduced number, and that reduced number means that the companies didn't operate at optimum level. So that was kind of negative that affected the industries.
The industrial sector accounts 19% of the country's GDP, which reduced by 4% in 2020.
This means a lot to the economy, actually, because the government has been investing a lot in these sectors. You can see how much the government invested in electricity, in infrastructure that would help the conducive day-to-day running of these construction and manufacturing activities. So COVID affected a number of sectors, but particularly given the role and the contribution of industry in the economic development or in the GDP per capita of this country, it's really worth it to think about supporting this sector and boost the economy of this country.
The industry and construction sector are not the only sectors that got negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and assisting them to recovery will have a far-reaching positive effect in those other sectors as well, while helping to close the country's trade deficit. Rislen Mugwaneza, reporting for RTV.